To my great fellow Americans, I am filled with grief and anger at the heinous assassination of Charlie Kirk on a college campus in Utah. Charlie inspired millions, and tonight all who knew him and loved him are united in shock and horror. Charlie was a patriot who devoted his life to the cause of open debate and the country that he loved so much, the United States of America. He fought for liberty, democracy, justice, and the American...
Take a breath. The president spoke. A grieving family sat in silence, and millions across the country paused. Charlie Kirk was called a patriot, a man of faith, a voice that pulled students into politics. Agree or not, he filled arenas and dominated debates. His death doesn't just end a life, it shakes a movement. And when someone with that kind of reach is silenced, the impact spreads.
And there's never been anyone who was so respected by youth. Charlie was also a man of deep, deep faith. And we take comfort in the knowledge that he is now at peace with God in heaven. Our prayers are with his wife, Erica, the two young, beloved children, and his entire family who he loved more than anything in the world. We ask God to watch over them in this terrible hour of heartache and pain. This is a dark moment for America. Charlie Kirk traveled the nation, joyfully engaging with everyone interested in good faith debate. His mission was to bring young people into the political process, which he did better than anybody.
First reports out of Utah are thin, and investigators admit they're struggling. The FBI says low-quality footage shows dark clothing, maybe a rooftop shooter. The distance of the shot points to skill, not luck. They detained one person of interest but later released them. That's how shaky the leads are right now. Whoever pulled this off knew exactly what they were doing.
On the suspect, the possible shooter is taken from closed-circuit TV here on campus. We do have that. We're analyzing it, but it is security camera footage, so you can kind of guess what the quality of that is. But we do know dressed in all dark clothing, but we don't have a much better description other than that.
So to clarify,
the shot came from here on campus, from a location at a fair, potentially from a roof, yes. A longer distance shot from a roof.
So to clarify, with the security camera footage you have and the person of interest that's in custody, does that match up?
That's what we're trying to decipher right now.
Earlier today, he did write the subject for the horrific shooting today that took the life of Charlie Kirk is now in custody. Thank you to local and state authorities in Utah for your partnership with the FBI. And then he wrote, at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, the subject in custody has been released after an interrogation by law enforcement. Our investigation continues, and we will continue to release information in the interest of...
Here we are, with a nation wounded and almost no answers. That's a dangerous mix, because silence leaves space for stories and agendas to take over. Some people turn to prayer and grief, while others celebrate it online. Imagine hearing your rival was assassinated, and your first reaction is joy. That's America today. Two sides watching the same tragedy but living in different realities.
Anyone in the sound of my voice celebrated even a little bit at the news of this shooting, I would beg you to look in the mirror and to see if you can find a better angel in there somewhere. I don't care what his politics are. I care that he was an American.
I think people are already saying things they shouldn't be saying. Joe Walsh is a good example of that.
What did you not?
I mean, today, a 31-year-old father of two and a husband is dead. There's really nothing more to say than this is unacceptable and it's wrong. That's number one. I've heard J.B. Pritzker blame Donald Trump today. I don't understand. Our friend is dead, and we've got people out here who just can't stop grinding political action.
This isn't politics anymore, it's poison. People are saying, he got what he deserved. That's not debate, that's rot. And both sides are already pointing fingers. At the left, the right, the media, the leaders. In minutes, his death became fuel for division. Outrage now comes first, humanity comes second. That's where we are as a country.
Let's, wait a minute. The House will be in order. The House will be in order. The House will be in order. The House will be in order.
Think about this. There was even a fight over a moment of silence. Just 30 seconds of respect, and even that was too much to agree on. If we can't come together for something that simple, what can we unite around? This is what happens when outrage runs the show. Words matter, tone matters. And now people are even asking if this was a professional hit.
Assassination of Charlie Kirk, to me, is indicative of a professional hit.
Former FBI voices say this looked planned, not random. One clean shot, one escape, no chaos left behind. Could an amateur pull it off? Maybe, but the setup feels deliberate. Still, we need to be careful. Early stories are usually wrong, and assumptions can be dangerous. The bigger problem is cultural. We've normalized contempt. And once people are dehumanized, violence doesn't feel unthinkable anymore.
We asked for a moment of prayer for Charlie Kirk, and then the Democrats decided at that point in time to try to shut that down. First and foremost, Charlie Kirk is now pronounced deceased. He was murdered. I don't know anything about the suspect yet. I think everyone's waiting to hear that, but that type of rhetoric is the exact type of rhetoric that got him killed. So to be clear, we should have been allowed to pray for Charlie. I would encourage the speaker to go back tomorrow and let us pray on the floor for Charlie Kirk's family now and the rest of the people that have been impacted by this terrible loss.
Congresswoman, they caused this.
Most certainly, yes, they did cause this. That type of rhetoric, you calling people fascists, you basically saying that we're Nazis, take away people's rights. Charlie Kirk was literally murdered, and you can see that footage online, and I would encourage people, instead of sharing that, please share pictures of his family and the legacy that he left.
And then there's the media. Some outlets rushed to blame Kirk's rhetoric before his body was even cold. That's not reporting, that's malpractice. Sure, they apologized, but apologies don't fix a broken system built on clicks and hot takes. Journalism has to be more than chasing outrage. Producers and anchors must remember, kids are watching too. Responsibility has to mean...
This is what makes me, I am angry about this. I feel terrible for Charlie Kirk's family. All right? But I'm angry, and that's why I wrote this book, Confronting Evil. You have to confront it with strength. You can't weasel out of it anymore. And the media is a big part of this. Just about an hour ago, the president of MSNBC, one of the most vile networks ever to be broadcast in this country, chastised a man named Matthew Dowd for saying, you know, Kirk's murder could have been his fault because of his inflammatory rhetoric. Yeah, the man was not even pronounced dead yet. All right? And Dowd said that on this network, MSNBC.
Violence has to be condemned. No caveats, no excuses, no whataboutism. The scarier part, we don't even agree on basic words anymore. Terms like democracy, extremism, and truth mean completely different things depending on which side you're on. That's why two people can watch the same clip and see opposite stories. The only way forward is honesty, even when that means admitting, we don't.
And he was saying he's looking in the mirror at how he can be better, right? Even though he's on the same side as Charlie. I love that. My heart beats for that kind of unification. But I cannot stand being lied to. And that is what I feel has happened. The left was controlling the narrative for so long. This whole idea that the vast majority of violence comes from white supremacists, right? This is what you hear day in and day out from the heads of the Democratic Party. It's just a lie. And we cannot turn the temperature down while people are lying to our faces and demonizing us, because there is also objective truth at the end of the day, and that has to be respected. They will not take responsibility for the fact that the vast majority of political violence in America comes...
President said Charlie's voice is bigger now than ever. We've heard that line before when leaders die. Sometimes it's just comfort, but sometimes it's prophecy. This moment could be one of those times, if his supporters choose to carry the work forward. The real question is whether the response will be revenge or resolve. Only one path honors his legacy.
Assassin tried to silence him with a bullet, but he failed, because together we will ensure that his voice, his message, and his legacy will live on for countless generations to come. Today, because of this heinous act, Charlie's voice has become bigger and grander than ever before, and it's not even close. May God bless his memory, may God watch over his family, and may God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
And honoring him means more than hashtags or sound bites. You honor a debater by debating better. You honor an organizer by organizing smarter. You honor a father by protecting his family and living out that role yourself. When the facts about the shooter come out, take them as they are, not as you want them to be. And leaders especially must show restraint instead of chasing clicks.
Well, when you take a look at the video, and you take a look at the venue and the spectators and how close they are to Charlie Kirk, and then you have that kind of like umbrella over him, that kind of tent, you have to know that this shooter had to be perched in a position with respect to being able to lay his sights perfectly, basically a headshot. And the shot that was taken to immediately incapacitate Charlie Kirk. And so this was not some amateur who just, got up on a rooftop because it was, what I consider spontaneous combustion. He got up this morning and decided he was going to do something crazy. This seems the earmark of a professional that got up onto this rooftop well in advance of the venue being occupied by the spectators. He was clearly undetected. There was no indication that anybody...
If you're grieving, I'm with you. If you're angry, I get it. But don't let anger harden into hate. Channel it instead. Volunteer, donate, talk to someone you disagree with. Blessed are the peacemakers, because peace isn't a slogan, it's real work. It's harder than rage, but it lasts longer. The next chapter is ours to write, and it begins with refusing to let hate hold the pen.